YouTubers, and welcome to another beer review with me here to the Master of Puppets. Today, joined by
Jacob the Lord of Malts.
And today, we're going to be looking at a beer that was sent to moi by the awesome Johan in Sweden. So, thanks a lot, Johan, for a beer. I mean, you're going to hear that in a lot of reviews now because he sent a lot of beer. Same goes for David in the US, so that's crazy. But the one we're going to be looking at today is from Sigtuna. This, as you can see, is a little box. It's limited edition. This is the Sigtuna Bourbon Imperial Stout. Now, I won't tell you this yet, but Johan shot me a message not too long ago about this beer, but he said I should review it right away, or I could decide what I wanted to do with it actually. But it's a big 10.5% barley wine aged in bourbon barrels. Talk about here how it's the biggest bold style, the king of beers styles, stuff like that on the back, all in Swedish. And then they use a ton of different types of malt, muscovado, sugar, honey, and then British and New Zealand hops. And it says it's been aged in bourbon barrels from Blayton's, but I've never heard of that. I don't know if that's a bourbon distillery or what it is, but so this should be interesting. It is a really classy looking bottle. I mean, look at that. Just the label itself, it looks like it's printed on there. It's not, but it's actually, wow, I thought it was a see-through label, but it's black. It's just because the beer is so dark that, you see that? It's just so dark that you can't, the beer is so dark that you can't really distinguish it. Yeah. Even though when you hold it up to light, you get so well when you hold it. But yeah, you don't notice it. But yeah, and then Emil Linton is the brewer who made this, I guess. So yeah, I've had a few Sigtuna beers. One I've had has been fairly good. So this should be interesting. I think this might be their first take on like a big barrel aged beer. So we got the Sigtuna Imperial Bourbon Imperial Stout poured. It looks pretty black in the glass right now, but when we poured it, you got some red notes. Some red.
There's kind of like a little note going on, but it's pretty dark. Yeah, and
as I said, I think this is their first barrel-aged big Imperial Stout. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. Black color, the head is very foamy, but I guess that's understandable in 10%. And you can really, 10.5, you can really see the alcohol legs as well. But what's there is a tan foam, so yeah, let's take out the aroma. Smells very British. I'm getting a decent amount of heat. I mean, it almost stings your nostrils.
Well, a little, but kind of like an old ale-y sting.
I just think it's an alcohol burn.
It comes to the after smell.
Yeah, it's quite boozy actually. Yeah, but the more you smell it, it's boozy. It's kind of like smelling bourbon, I guess, almost, because that smells boozy if you, or whiskey, but it kind of I'm definitely smelling the bourbon. I mean, it's not a ton. I feel like it's more of dark fruits you're getting and fruit esters.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And kind of like a biscuity.
Wow, it's boozy. Front. This is like, to me, this feels more boozy than like black from McKellar. But let's say thanks a bunch, Johan.
Cheers, mate.
Johan, as we say now. Yeah, that is pretty hot. That is quite boozy. And the aftertaste is like really burning.
Mouthfeel is surprisingly light.
Yeah, and I think that might be because of that sugar, the honey and the muscovado. On the stage that they've added it. Whoa, yeah, this is a hot beer.
Nevertheless,
this stage.
Nevertheless, medium mouthfeel, kind of like, with a lot of sweetness lingering.
It does have some solid sweetness, but not enough sweetness to cover up the alcohol. I seriously feel like this feels more boozy than McKellar Black, and McKellar Black is 19%. It's not as boozy as the Black in Black we had, but in that one, it worked with the barrel.
Heat.
yeah, on the side of your tongue, and it stings a little, but wow, this is a warming beer. It's still a nice tasting bourbon barrel, it's Imperial Stout, but the heat is just crazy, because like in some of these McKellar beers that I'm talking about, the heat is there, but you still get a lot of the other flavors. I feel like here the heat really dominates the flavor. Yeah. You still pick up on the dark fruits, you get some oaky bourbony notes, but like it's just dominated by that heat of alcohol.
Yeah, and then just first in the very last second, or kind of like just very late in the aftertaste, you get kind of like a vanilla taste and a vanilla.
Yeah, the aftertaste definitely get vanilla, charred oak, bourbony flavors.
But that's just quite very late.
Yeah, like right now, and charred oak and dark chocolate coffee flavors. I guess that's the flavors you'd pick up if this has been aging for 2-3 years.
And kind of like
it also has a slight vinous character when you take a sip, but then you get the alcohol.
in a weird sense, there's kind of like a burnt pine. I'm gonna say kind of like
maybe
you get
there's some pininess, but
burnt
wow,
pine.
this is a hot ass beer. This is the booziest beer I've had in a while. Normally, boozy isn't a problem for me at all.
It just needs something to balance it.
Yeah, and to me, this just, I guess, needs age. I should have aged this for much longer. This is good too, but for me, the alcohol, and that sounds weird coming from me because I've never really had a big problem with it, but I'm gonna go 79. I gotta be honest, the alcohol dominates the flavor. I mean, as I said, Mikkeller Black can hold its own because it has more flavors and bigger flavors.
Like a sweetness to it.
Yeah, that can balance it a little. It's still a hot beer, but this, as it is right now, is a 79. It needs a lot of age. For me, at least.
Well, I'm gonna fully agree, and I was actually thinking straight up 80, and I'm gonna hold on to the straight up 80.
That's the complete honest review of the Sigtuna Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Thanks a bunch to Johan for sending this one out. Still really appreciate it, man. It's awesome, but gotta be honest. So yeah. There you go, guys. Definitely let us know what you think of this one if you've had it. If you think it's super hot as well and boozy, I don't know. Let us know. As always, remember to I can smell the booze from here. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter. And we're going to say cheers. And we're going to see you guys in another beer review.